So yeah, estate planning is kind of a natural outgrowth of real estate because a lot of times people move here from other states and they have questions, do I need to update my will? Do I need to do these sorts of things? What does it mean to be in a different state?
Can we talk a little bit about that, about South Carolina requiring an attorney? Why wouldn't people just say, hey, I'll just use an attorney versus a real estate agent?
To break it down, yes, we are an attorney state. It's required by the law that an attorney is present at closing and conducts the closing, holds the funds, and oversees the entire transaction. At the actual closing table, when you're signing the documents, an attorney needs to be present.
Welcome to Real Talk Hilton Head with David and Dale Cross, the real estate lifestyle podcast of Coastal Carolina.
Join us as we share stories from our community, insight into the local lifestyle, and the real scoop on real estate.
From market trends to home design, we dive deep into what it means to live and thrive here.
Discover the state of mind and philosophy of the Low Country that enriches life through personal growth, health and wellness, and human connection.
Whether you're a local or thinking of becoming one, we're here to guide you through the ins and outs of living this coastal escape.
Tune in, relax, and enjoy the conversation with Real Talk Hilton Head,
the podcast of Coastal Carolina.
Welcome to Real Talk Hilton Head. Today we're diving into the unique role of attorneys in South Carolina real estate.
We'll break down why an attorney must handle every closing here in the state of South Carolina and how they work alongside us, your realtor, and why having a local estate planner is crucial, especially if you're relocating. It's critical for protecting your property and your legacy.
Well, let's get started.
Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us, you guys. We're excited to have you.
Thanks for asking us to be here.
Yeah.
I think we're both super thrilled.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, as the intro says, we're here to talk about all things real estate attorney related to the real estate transaction. But before we go there, let's talk about you two and get a little bit of background. First of all, are you both attorneys?
Yes.
Okay.
Licensed in the state of South Carolina?
So I'm only licensed in New York and South Carolina, but you have a lot more.
I am licensed in New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia.
Wow.
Really?
Wow, so double.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Different basically clients who said, hey, it'd be great if you could do something in, say, North Carolina. So I got licensed there. Same thing with Georgia. New York was just kind of, I didn't know where to take the bar after law school. You guys know my wife. She's from Norway. And I knew I was moving to Norway. So I was like, which bar might be relevant in Norway? And the answer is none of them.
Okay.
But New York is slightly more relevant than others. So
It's an international city, so
that was kind of the idea.
yeah.
Education to your clients.
I got it.
That's right.
Well, Tom, why don't we start with you? What's your background? Who are you? Where'd you come from? How'd you get here?
Well, I am from Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. So
You were born here?
I was not born here, but I moved here before first grade. So my mom got a job. She actually was president of the Technical College of the Low Country, and that's how our family ended up here. Moved here before first grade. I went to grades 1 through 12 at Hilton Head Prep. So I have been, in and around Hilton Head for a long, long time. After high school, though, moved away and came back in 2019. So
how long were you gone?
20 years.
Okay. Wow. So when you left, was the intention like, oh, you know what? I can't wait to get off that little island and get somewhere meaningful or whatever it is. And then, I would love to know that journey.
There's a little bit of that. I mean, if you grew up here, particularly then, because it was a lot smaller.
Yeah.
There was Hilton Head. There was virtually nothing in Bluffton at the time.
Wow.
And, it was like, I want to go off to college, go to a city, like get a professional job, do all that sort of stuff. And over time, you kind of realize, you know what? It wasn't that bad where I grew up. And I complained that there wasn't that much to do, but in actuality, there was quite a bit to do that was not only kind of fun for teenagers, but also free. Like you can go to the beach, you can go bike riding, you can do all this sort of stuff. And then everywhere else I lived, I just didn't like it as much.
Okay.
So eventually we decided to move back.
That's great. So now obviously you're married.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hannah. So Hannah, had she ever been here before?
She hadn't lived here, but she'd been here a bunch of times
Okay.
because she was dating me. So my parents have lived in the same house since 1987.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up in Moss Creek. They still live in Moss Creek, same street. So yeah, she'd been basically coming back every year or every other year,
Yeah.
depending the entire time.
Now, you and Hannah met in college. Well, you're both attorneys?
We met in law school. So when I was in law school, she was actually studying to get a master's degree in American law because her main law degree is from the University of Oslo. So yeah, she got a supplementary degree here,
Okay.
and kind of the rest is history.
Wow. So what was the decision to move back? Just like, hey, we want to go back because your parents were here. We want to go back because of the lifestyle.
It was a little bit of both because we had at the time a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and we were living in Manhattan, and Manhattan is very expensive. And a lot of the stuff that is great about Manhattan, you don't experience as much with like a 2-year-old. So for instance, you're not going to a lot of ballets and symphonies and art museums with a 2-year-old. You're going to a lot of playgrounds.
Yes.
And we really wanted just a little bit more help with kids. And so we thought, well, maybe we'll go somewhere closer to either her home or my home. And yeah, we liked here. We lived in Oslo before, so we figured we'd give here a shot. And that was 5 years ago. So.
Wow, that's great. Awesome.
One little known fact too, Hannah and I are very good friends, and we're very competitive on the tennis court. She's a great tennis player.
You are as well.
Yeah.
You're being modest, but yeah, you guys are both two of the better tennis players in the area.
We have a lot of fun, Hannah and I.
We're going to save that for the tennis podcast.
All right, we'll bring her on
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure she could talk about tennis all day.
We're going to have a tennis podcast.
because she's doing a ton of pickleball.
Any sport you hit with the ball, she's happy.
That's great.
That's awesome. So then, tell us a little bit about law school and your degrees and.
Okay, sure. I went to undergrad at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. I majored in history. I have a minor in computer science. So if you need anything programmed,
I didn't know that.
ask somebody else. I don't know. No, don't ask me.
Welcome to Real Talk.
Yeah.
This is what comes out.
You learned something, right? Also went back to Wake for law school. Took 2 years off in between, but yeah, I've spent 7 years of my life in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So I don't even have a backup sports team to root for. So if Wake is not doing well, I'm just sad, basically.
Yeah. Well,
Nation will take you on.
I appreciate that.
I was just,
I join, but I appreciate the offer.
come on, man.
Fine.
So Natalia, tell us about you and your background and kind of where you come from. How did you end up here?
Well, I was born and raised in Brooklyn.